What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the Buy the Hood podcast or webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host, as always. My name is Jimmy. And as we start off every episode, that's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to anyone who supports anything that we've got going on, specifically all the students from Buy the Hood University, as well as the youth in our Buy the Hood ownership camp. Salute to all of you guys. My partner Corey's not here today. He's out handling business, but the show has to go on because our objective is to highlight brothers and sisters who are doing positive work in the community, building businesses, investors, just putting positive energy out there. We want to make sure that we highlight them so you guys can be aware of them and, see what they got going on and possibly drop a gem that can help you in your journey. This brother that I have going on, man, his story is amazing. In fact, he has a new book out talking about his story, but we want to highlight it because he's putting out positive energy. He's teaching the community, and his new book, which is, I'm going to tell you, it's called From Bars to Bitcoin, right? So we got Justin Rhedrick, better known as a Bitcoin vegan, in the building. And I just want to say, before we start, man, congratulations on getting that book out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. It was definitely a life-changing experience, man. Most definitely. It wasn't as it's not as easy as you think. You got a lot of small things that take place, but I think one of the most untalked about things about being an author is the level of completion, and sometimes getting things off of your shoulders just feels it just
yes
kind of amazing, man. Then you got the whole world reading your reading what you put to paper. So I mean, you got to put yourself out there for all the good and the bad, So it's a different level, but
that's why you're already a success, man. Listen, as someone, I finished 2 books and they're published, but I know that feeling of completion you're talking about. That's why I said it doesn't matter how many people read it. You've already a success because you've done something, you've taken action, and you put it out there. So, just want to say congratulations on that because I know what that feeling is like, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was surreal, brother. I was just like, damn, I actually wrote a book.
Yeah, and yours is a little different too because you're telling your story, and you're being very transparent and talking about some things that a lot of people wouldn't be willing to talk about. So you're at a whole other level of vulnerability, I should say, when people are reading that story, right? Because that's your story.
Yeah, because it's from my journey, man. It's nothing really too much. I mean, everybody got something, they don't have to tell. I ain't even gonna call it a secret. You don't have to tell.
Yeah.
However, a lot of things, majority of things you're going through, somebody might be going through, and the one of the main principles of the book, main reasons of the book is, I share what I went through so they could be gems to you, because if you hide or if you hold all the shit to yourself, number one, nobody might not be able to help you, and then you might not be able to help nobody else. So
yeah,
that's how I view things, man. If it ain't too crazy, share it.
Yeah, well, let's get into your story though. Let's talk about your upbringing. Where are you born and raised? Where you from?
So I was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. Been here my whole life. Finally looking to move out, and Charlotte. Growing up in Charlotte was cool. I've had experiences in both. I guess you want to say like hardships, and also lived in different places within Charlotte. But it was the hardships that rolled down the most, and those are the pain points you end up taking hold. So I usually tell the story like when we got the day my whole entire life shifted for real was when we lost our home, and we had a home. It was a nice house, good area in Charlotte, but once you lose it, man, everything changes and people change around you. And, like I tell people all the time, when your mindset changes, your circumstances change. No, I mean, when your circumstances change, your mindset changes. And, it was then where I realized like, damn, that was a long road. Like being not having the, we went without a house for like about a year or so, but, you senior in high school, you ready to start hoop. I was ready to start hooping and doing other things, and I just saw my whole life just turn around. It's almost like it got snatched from up under me.
About how old are you when this happened?
I was 17 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, I was 17. Oh no, I was probably 16, 17 years old. And between losing a home, not being able to play basketball, not really going to chase your hooping dreams, things just started going, to a different direction. I witnessed a friend of mine, Travis Moore, get killed that year at a party. I had to transfer to a school called West Charlotte, and it was at West Charlotte where my whole life it went very well, but it was just you don't really know what's going on as a kid. And then I had gone to college, went to college for 2 years, dropped out of college. Only reason I dropped out because the professor put up a graph that said we won't have any jobs 5 years after graduation. And I started thinking like, yo, where are we going to get this money from?
Yeah.
Like, that don't sound.
What were you majoring in college? What were you trying to get into when you were in college?
I was just in business administration.
Okay.
I wasn't. That's another thing. I didn't really have a college goal. Like, I was just going there because that's what people said to do. That's what you do at school. I chose one of the best universities in the world now, called North Carolina A&T. And it was known at that point in time for homecoming and partying. And I mean, they still had some great academic stuff going on, but I didn't really see much I wanted to gravitate to.
Gotcha.
So even after graduating, after dropping out of school, due to finances, playing around, smoking weed, chasing girls, typical 19-year-old stuff. I ended up coming home and still with no plan of money, just thinking something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's something I noticed, there's a real detriment that a lot of people just think something's going to happen and it's going to be all good. I fell for that. But then, circumstances started getting worse. And I'm a pretty known guy in a lot of different industries, if you want to say, a lot of different networks. And so, I started trying to find other ways to make money. And I'm thinking like, hell, if everybody else is making quick money, turn their life around, I can too. Other thing, what I did not realize was when nobody going no damn where. So that's where I didn't notice that then, but I noticed it like afterwards. I'm like, yo, all y'all getting money to stay in the same tax bracket neighborhood. Something ain't adding up.
Yep.
Something ain't adding up. But so after that, I had gone to prison for 3 years.
Okay. So trying to figure things out, you end up gravitating towards the street and got self-control.
Yeah. We committed a home invasion. It was some people I knew that helped put me on, and I was just like, I mean, bro, I'll do it, but I ain't really trying to go in here and hurt nobody. But I just want money. I ain't see no money, and I left. And it was like really like that. I just left. And push comes to shove, things go down the line. You end up going to prison. Folks end up, that's not part of the conversation. But within that, I know when I had gone to prison, I remember my friend asked me, he said, so what was the thing going through your mind when you were first when you were first about to go to prison? I was just like, well, shit, we got to find a way to come back.
Yeah. I mean, you have your story, and I'm pretty sure some people are gonna be able to resonate with that because you went to college, but then you also went to prison. Like that's a unique experience. You the experience of actually going to college and then going to prison. Like so you have a lot of.
I did 2 years. I did 2 years in college and 3 years in prison. So, I mean, shit. I don't. It's just like, hey, we just gotta make the best of it.
All right, so let's talk about this. When you're released from prison, what was that like? Because that had to be difficult too. You talked about at 19 not knowing a direction of what you wanted to do. Did you figure that out while in prison or when you came home?
So I figured out legitly what I was going to do. Well, you got to be honest. I had to figure this shit out when I came home because I ain't know nothing about Bitcoin. But I mean, I kept it honest though because prison guys would be like, man, I want to go do this. I want to go do that. And I never knocked what nobody wanted to do. Some guys wanted to be barbers. Some guys wanted to sell clothes, drive trucks, get into landscaping. And I'm like, whatever. I'm like, bro, if that works for you, that works for you. But that didn't work for me. Like, because I didn't want to do what people thought I should have done. I didn't want to do what people gave me to do. Like my uncle, he mailed me a list of jobs I could apply for when coming home out of prison. And when I looked at the list, I'm looking at how much the jobs pay. I'm like, bro, all these jobs pay $16 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Like, this is not it. So,
Yeah.
and then I really couldn't get hired. So, but when I was in prison, I was telling folks, man, I don't know what's going on out there, the sense that I know I'm going to do. I don't, because everybody writing letters talking about you ain't missing nothing. Well, what the hell are y'all missing? Because something has to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, I really started noticing, like, and it's to someone's responsibility, but none but my own. But it's like, people were writing me, telling me when nothing changed with the world. And when I kept reading those same messages over and over, I started thinking something is going on.
Yeah.
And these people, what I'm saying, like this is not it. Like, this wasn't it. Because there's no way nothing new is going on in the world ever. And so I will always tell people, like, man, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do. If I find something that works, that's legal, and I can win, I'm gonna ride the gas till the wheels fall off, man. And I came home in 2014, and by 2016, me and Bitcoin Zay had a conversation about Bitcoin, man, and it's been on ever since then.
So is he how you discovered Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's like this. So I first heard anything about Bitcoin. Of course, the movie Dope. I think everybody's been introduced to the movie Dope.
Yeah.
But you watch it Dope, you be like, all right, well, that's lit. You don't really know it's real though. So it wasn't until I had gone to my granddaddy's house when he was alive at the time. He said, "Yeah, I got me a miner. It's gonna mine me some Bitcoin."
Oh, your grandpop said that?
Mm-hmm. He in 2016 had a miner.
Wow.
I will say this: I do think he was getting scammed. However, because I'm trying to figure out who the hell set this up. Like, so in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, we come to find out he was getting scammed.
Okay.
However, the innovation to even take the risk was what impressed me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would always say, like, my granddad, he bought like stocks in Microsoft or Enterprise, all these other crazy companies that were just getting started back then that are like juggernauts now, but he sold them. Mm-hmm. And so she said, yeah, he was always up onto investments. I'm like, all right, that's a skill there. That's a skill. Mm-hmm. So I always pay attention to that. But so afterwards, I remember running into Zay at the gas station. We were talking, man. Like, I had played basketball with him growing up. I've been known since I was about 11 years old. We play on the same AAU team. And so we were talking about Bitcoin, and I'm like, all right, bro, I followed him on Instagram. And then one day I just saw a graph. It just showing, how Bitcoin had crashed, but then it was just going up. I'm like, bro, this thing still go up. What is this? Mm-hmm. So one day we had the real conversation. And I asked him, I said, so what does it do? Like, what is it? He said, well, you can use it like money, like everyday money. You can hold it like a storage value for gold, and it's decentralized, meaning it's outside of government control. And I was like, well, shit. What else do we have to lose? I mean, what the hell else do you have to lose? You're coming home from prison. None of the jobs are really panning out. I mean, shit. I started really noticing how I didn't have no money working for me in the background, so because I would do hard work, like 12 hours a day, $12 an hour, no insurance, no none of that, traveling. They give you like $150 per diem. I was doing merchandising work. And, that wasn't going to, I didn't see no long-term success with that. Everybody who I saw working long-term, I was just like, damn, like, this is not where I really want to be. I mean, it's a blessing because I can make money, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to get caught up in that complacency of just, I got a job. It's like, bro, nah. Like I said to prison, I was gonna be a billionaire anyway. Mm-hmm. Didn't matter where I was coming from. Like, if I had to start from zero, then we just gonna start from zero. But Floyd Mayweather did it. Tyler Perry did it. I mean, so shit. Hey, you can do it.
Let me ask you this question. All right, so everybody has this part where you go down a rabbit hole, right? Where you learn about it and you start to read more and study it. What were some of the things that you learned, as you started going down this rabbit hole where it made you really commit the way you have to Bitcoin?
decentralization. The fact that I had been in an environment that was so controlled. With that being in prison, it was all about decentralization. I could move money when I wanted. No one could take it from me. And the opportunity that lied there, it wasn't about the money. It was about the opportunity. I mean, yeah, the money was there. We're not going to ignore it. But I remember one time I was walking out with my daughter, and I said, man, something has to be going on in the world that if I get there early, I can change my life. Because I always started thinking, like, yo, how the hell all these guys get all this tech money? Like, how the hell did they become billionaires? Fuck the millionaire. How did y'all become a billionaire?
Yep.
Because that's where that's when shit just starts changing. Like, money's on autopilot, it seems like. So how did you become a billionaire?
So you think that time that you had to do, like, in prison is what made you really realize the power of decentralization, right?
Yeah, because see, in prison, we have to use stamps on the yard. So if your family member's wife, husband, if you're a woman, whatever, if your family can't send you money and you get it on these little ID cards, and it's your ID and it's like a debit card, canteen card where you swipe money. If your family or you don't have a job, can't see no money, then you are forced to use stamps, which is the currency that the guys use on the yard. Now, within that, we had a set price because stamps in the regular world were like 44 cents. On the yard, we had them between 30 cents. Some people try to be greedy to do 35. However, it was a set price, pretty much 30 cents for my entire bid on the yard, no matter where we went. And so that stayed going. And everyone knew the most important thing were to keep stamps on the yard. So it was to keep the currency in circulation. And when I saw that, of course, when you come home, when you go to prison, leaving, the free world, you don't know anything about this shit, but you see people just operating like this. And the stuff we would buy was a lot cheaper. Like if you wanted to buy deodorant, it was $2.35 with the canteen card. But if you wanted to use stamps, I'll take 7 stamps. That's $2.10. So we found a way to also, make the stamps more valuable because you're keeping it in circulation, and it's like incentivized for you to spend it because the prices is real cheaper than what what the main prison was offering. So when they started bringing up decentralization, I started looking at Bitcoin like instantly my mind went there, like that instant model, like boom, stamps. So then I removed stamps and just added Bitcoin. And could guys use that? Like, hell yeah, that could work. So when you see what's taking place in El Salvador, it's just gonna be an easy move because it works. It's like really as simple as I can say it. And I know you got guys in Bitcoin who try and make everything so damn complex around game theory, around distribute, around all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, when the human mind sees something that's working, it'll just keep on working.
Yeah, man. And it's funny, right? So I got to give you credit while you're on our platform, because I follow your work. You're one to put it like this, right? So my partner Corey got me involved in crypto back in 2016, right? And I'm a technology guy, but I also come from precious metals. So it made sense to me. Initially, it didn't make sense because I'm like to Corey, listen, I do real estate. I don't care about that. But the more he kept telling me to do it, and because I was also, someone that bought precious metals, it made sense. But because I love technology, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I used to be a big shit coiner, right?
Right. Yeah.
But what happened through my journey personally is it's 5 people, man. It's my brother Russell, who's a huge Bitcoin guy. It's you, is Zay, Lamar Wilson, and believe it or not, it's another brother named Benny. He goes by the name Bitcoin Blockmaster. He's actually incarcerated right now, but he's one of the most brilliant guys I met. But the reason I say you, well, I tell you that I was like, The reason I say that though is because y'all all look like me, right? So I tend to follow people that look like me, that understand culture, because culture is important to me. So I listen. So anybody in this space that looks like me, I give it a special listen to.
Right.
And because like, especially with you, Zay, all y'all are Bitcoin guys. So the more I start to study and go down the rabbit hole, and then I'm bringing this up because of what you said about decentralization.
Okay.
As someone who was into all the shit coins and everything, then it occurred to me like this ain't decentralized. Like decentralization is important to me because that's one of the things about precious metals. It's like it's my business. Whatever I have is my business. I'm like, hold up, and no disrespect to anybody that said, well, or disrespect to you, it doesn't matter. but I realized through my journey in studying, you guys, that hold on, Bitcoin is different than all the rest of this shit, right? So now I'm 100% Bitcoin guy. But my question to you is, did you ever go through that phase, or were you from day one?
All right, so the rabbit hole. My bad. I did.
Because I want to know. Because like for me, I came to become a full Bitcoin guy, but I went down the rabbit hole. I was with all the shit coins. I was trying to, I was in the casino, like what I mean. So
yeah. I know. So it's like when I first bought Bitcoin, I was all in Bitcoin, and I started seeing, what altcoins were. So it was like I would buy them just to be like, okay, just to see what it's like, bro. Like I ain't go. I've almost went down that rabbit hole. You feel me? I can say that. And because of folks like Zay and my guy Miller L, they were those guys just to keep it straight.
Yeah.
Because I tell people like, sometimes I tell folks like, hey, I got mentorship or coaching for Bitcoin. I'm like, well, what is that? Well, if you go down that shit coin rabbit hole and you start seeing your money go wide instead of it going straight in one line with Bitcoin, you understand why the service is there. But so I've let's see. I remember they dropped ICOs. I participated in ICO before. I realized I quickly realized how trash this shit was, though.
Okay.
You feel me? Like in 2017, and I think the rabbit hole would have been. I think cryptos might have had a chance until 2017. But I mean, even then, they didn't have a chance to Bitcoin because this is why. So in 2017, you start seeing exchanges go down. Like one day you'll go on there, then the next day you see the FBI seal on there. You can't use it. Coins was going to hell at a rapid pace. And the thing that really, really, really got me as a whole 100% Bitcoiner was when Zay had gone to LA to start shooting the Gentleman of Crypto. And and Zay, no cap, Zay was always that dude to look out. He said, "Yo, Justin, he asked me to review as many altcoins as possible, and bro would pay me $100 a week." And they were going like, if you go all the way down to, if you go to the Gentleman of Crypto, scroll all the way down to their first episode. Those altcoins they listed, I used to review them and send them to them. So I used to review altcoins all day at the house.
Okay.
And with like, this is when I had no job. So the $100 a week might go towards groceries or gas or some shit. And I'll be like, yo, tell Zay, bro, you don't even know what this little bit means.
Yeah.
So and so then it was just like, all right. So I'm looking at all these altcoins and I'm noticing like, bro, all this shit is nothing. Like, y'all not backed by nothing. Like y'all have no real white paper. The community is about, if you think the Bitcoin community is small, these communities be about 1,000 people. They say that they got so much. I'm like, bro, it is a lot of nothing out here.
Yeah.
So I was initially, I was always all in on Bitcoin. Of course, you had those phases where you might go in, then you have phases, some people they are, but like we always said before, all roads eventually lead to Bitcoin.
That was my story too. That was my story. And also I say another thing was when I started running a node, then it clicked and I was like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
When you run a node, it's a wrap. When you run a node, I remember the first time I tried to build a node was in 2018 when they were just coming, and I ain't have no tech experience, like nothing. That shit was killing me. You know what I mean? Like we took it back, like, how you did when we was kids. You just see some shit and you trying it.
Yeah.
We had to tap into that energy because that's where it was. And I was on the command line, but I was like, bro, what in the hell am I doing? Yeah. But now I notice, node is nothing to make run by. But yeah, once you have a node, bro, once you start looking at Bitcoin in the coding form, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and that's when you understand that it's different than everything else. So I just wanted you to speak to that because I tell people all the time that listen, it's Bitcoin and it's all that other shit. Like they're not the same, right? So, yeah. So I'm glad to hear that you went through that journey as well. So now, what made you decide to put this book out, right? So you changed your life. Bitcoin, you can pretty much say Bitcoin has changed your life. So,
man, hell yeah.
So, what made you want to share your journey? What made you want to put this pen to paper and share your journey? Because, like I said in the beginning, very few will be willing to be as transparent about your past, and even though you've come out of it, you still share that. What made you want to share that?
Number one, so number one, people can just like see that what you think is nothing is actually something. Like people are like, oh, you might be doing well or this, that, and third, or they might have imposter syndrome, or people might I don't know. Like, I don't know what people really go through unless they tell me. But I wrote the book for folks to see, like, man, it's really talking to those people. The book could be for everyone, but what really made me want to write the book was like, hell, you can get started with nothing. And you need to see what that looks like. You need to read what that feels. You need to feel what that, you need to see what that looks like, and you need to read what that feels like. Because a lot of people have these thoughts of, shit just being easy. Like, we look at goals the wrong way. I'm just gonna get there. I mean, you hopefully will, but there will be some shit that happens. And the book was to, number one, highlight that, you might be in a weird spot, but most times than not, a lot of people, especially the ones that I know, they're like those people that fell between the cracks.
Okay.
How the fuck do you get out the cracks? Because you're looking at folks who started from the bottom, whatever it was, wherever they were, they blew up, but you fell between the cracks, and you don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
You're still sliding, and now everything around you looks like a success. So how do you get out of there? How do you get out of your mind? You know what I mean? How do you just say, fuck it, it's time to go? And from that regard, like I did. So during my time, I did a lot of coaching. Like, I got coaching certifications during the bear market year. And I did some stuff that really had nothing to do with Bitcoin sometimes, like health coaching or mindset coaching. But it was doing something for me to really like take in these skills so I could put together something like this. So the book was, number one, to really show the people that you have to have a certain mindset to get the fuck out of where you are. You might have to, you have to be perceived as a bit crazy, but if you don't make the correct moves, man, you will forever stay stuck. So I write about the book in a way that I talk about an apex predator, and amazingly enough, it's called an orca. So It's not the killer whale. So what makes the orca the best? He works together. They work together in pods. They communicate very well. They're highly intelligent when it comes to hunting and thinking. But the orca it can't be hunted by no one but humans. The average person would think the shark is the king of the sea, but he gets hunted by someone that no one ever knows about. So how do you get to that success without having to worry about having your name all out there? How you build yourself up? How do you be the best of the best amongst those people behind the doors?
Interesting.
Because everyone has a story. Everyone has something that makes them the 1%. They just don't believe in it. And a lot of that story is you read me believing in what the fuck I thought I could do, what the fuck I knew I could do.
Hey man, let me slow down real quick. That was a gem right there. Everybody has something in them that puts them amongst the 1%, but they don't believe it.
They don't.
Wow, that's a
I believe it.
I believe
it. I believed it when I left prison. I didn't really give a damn. I was like, shit. I said, whatever I find, I'm gonna win it. But what about this? I said, if I find it, I'm going to win. I don't want you to. I mean, you can throw me suggestions and I'll take them up. That don't mean this shit ain't gonna be it. You know what I mean? But it might help me get from day to day. But you got to be able to tap in, man. A lot of folks don't tap in. They don't believe they can. They got too many people that's mediocre around them. They believe it. You believe more of what average people say because average people outnumber people who aren't average. Like that might have been the worst way to say that shit.
No, but I get you. I get it.
You know what I mean?
They got the numbers. They got the numbers, yeah.
Strengthen mediocre numbers gonna make you think you mediocre. Well, I might need to slow down. Yeah, regular people don't do that. We're not here to be fucking regular though. Like you can't come home from prison and expect to be regular. What is a regular life outside of penitentiary? Yeah. Working at 35 years old, making $16, $20 an hour. That shit is not regular. You have a lot of problems. There's a lot of shit I realized I had going on. And I wanted to solve all that shit, man. None of the programs I saw out there were going to offer it. Like, bro, I wanted to be a billionaire. I'm not about to be able to become that here in this program. Mm-hmm. Like, this shit has to take, this shit, if it takes 10 years, then I need to get started now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have 10 years to wait to do another 10 years. Yep. So when I came home, I was 24. I was like, yo, we need to find something that I can dedicate these 5 years to now, because I'm not about to be one of those people who want to procrastinate on life, procrastinate on their gifts. People always think they got time to do shit. You in COVID, ain't no damn time now. You know, so man, it was about getting ready. I mean, getting moved.
So what's been
my fault? Go ahead.
Well, no. Listen, you were going. That's good. I just want to ask you this question though, to throw in there. Like, what has been the response? Because I mean, your family has to be proud of you to come home and turn your life around, you know, and find your purpose.
Well, you know, when it comes to Bitcoin, they only good when they see it work.
Number go up, and they work, and they like, okay.
You know what I mean? After a while, they see it. They see you. That's why I knew I could win, because I always looked at people who are like really, really chastised by folks. But then all of a sudden, what changes everyone's mind about him? Like Deontay Wilder, for instance. A lot of people didn't like him. They didn't think he could box. He didn't do all this other shit. But, you know, I kind of went down that rabbit hole till one day I just looked at this motherfucker. I said, bro, this motherfucker do whatever, though.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to stop him. Even when Tyson Fury beat him, you're not stopping him, though. Like, and then you start having respect for someone like that who doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if the only thing you can rely on is not quitting, then goddamn, you don't need no other talent or skill. Everything else will come to you because you got the best one of all, not giving up.
Man, that's another gem right there. You dropping gems today, good brother. As long as you have that skill of not quitting, everything else will come to you. I like that. And you dropping gems.
It has no choice. No matter how far ahead, everybody was ahead of me when I came home. The fuck? Even 16-year-olds who worked at Wendy's were ahead of me.
Yep.
As far as what people perceive, but shit, in my mind, y'all about to get lapped. That's just how I look. Everybody was food, goddamn it. Everybody's food. You gotta get lapped. For me to get there, you have to get lapped. And when I'm in front, you'll feel better.
I heard that. Let me ask you this question, right? Gotta ask you this question. You know, Bitcoin vegan. Like, so being a vegan, how long has that been a part of your life? Is it something that happened after prison, before prison? So when did that happen?
Going vegan happened November 2015. I was training at a gym called Dime Boxing, and I wanted to be cut, healthy, and clean as hell. And then the algorithm started working online. They started showing me Dr. Sabi.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit, who this dude? So I had actually gone vegan before I even became a Bitcoiner.
Interesting.
Going vegan actually helped me be a Bitcoiner.
Explain that. How that?
Because all the transitions are the same. You, for instance, when I was transitioning to veganism and Bitcoin, everybody was running their mouth. You don't know what you're doing. You gonna eat plants, all this. You gonna lose your mind. It's all the bullshit was all the same. Just the FUD was all the same. I mean, it was Bitcoin, same energy. People speaking highly on things they don't know. Then the next one was like, well, I'm not on the regular diet that's been put out there. I've chosen another diet. And then with Bitcoin and the money, I'm not on the regular money. I've chosen a different money. Both of these things are decentralized. I can grow my own food. I can mine my own Bitcoin. I can run my own node. Have my own farm. So I started noticing, like, damn, there's a lot of similarities between veganism and Bitcoin. And so then one day I went on Google and Instagram, put hashtag Bitcoin vegan. Nothing came up. I'm like, oh shit.
There you go.
I might be the only person in the world with this name. Well, let's go with it.
There you go.
And then
Now, I know this is going to be a silly question, but I want to ask it anyway. How has the transition into being a vegan changed your life?
Oh, that ain't even silly at all. Going vegan makes you understand you have to respect. So this is what it was. The reason hopping in Bitcoin was a little simpler, not just because of prison, because being vegan helped me understand that you have to go through a process. Like you have to understand processes. Like even when I would cook food, I would think, all right, I got the onions, I got this, I got that. And then my homegirl said, all right, now you got to cut it and cook it. I said, wait, what? Now, common sense, the food has to get cut. But I was like, damn, I got to do this. You know what I mean? Like, damn, all right. I mean, yeah, okay, I can do it. But, it's just you start really noticing how you are in really control of what you're about to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, so if you're going from veganism, if a good person out there, you think about going vegan, number one thing you got to realize is how I'm going to fix this food. How am I going to disperse this energy to fix this food? When, where? Like, it's a lot of shit that has to get, just all redone.
Yeah.
Because, wow, I was like, what, 25? So 25 years of my life was doing things one way. And so you get to see that whole habit just get broken.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what allowed me to realize, like, there will be no growth in life if you do not go through some type of major habit rechange and you have a crazy process to go through. Otherwise, everything's going to stay the same.
Heard that. Let me ask you this question. So along this journey, what has been the biggest hurdle? And I mean, I probably can guess that, but what has been the biggest hurdle that you had to overcome to get you from, where you started into where you are today?
Mindset.
Okay.
In prison, like I say in my book, in prison, a lot of people will do everything they say they'll do. They don't do that in the real world, in real business. And that can make someone who, is coming out of prison, that could piss you clean the fuck off. You said you was going to call me today. What happened? I thought we were going to go through on this deal on Friday. It's Saturday. I didn't hear from you. And then the whole survival to thriving mindset. Like, what you do to survive, you can't do to thrive. In prison, you're in hustle mode. And it worked. I mean, the things that took place for me in prison that work, they work. They work. Everything works up until a certain point.
Okay.
Like Robin Hood. Everything works until it don't work, man. And like it was like even this year, I just had to really have some real revelations. Like, damn, some shit we did back in the day coming up during the struggle mode. That's not needed here now.
Yeah.
The whole I gotta do it on my own. You don't have to do that no more now. But really, there's a lot of also hidden traumas, like that is not discussed.
Yes, this is true. What has helped you with the mindset shift? Like, what would you say has helped you, like, become self-aware and understand that you have to shift your mind?
So I used to always hire coaches.
Okay.
I'm a hiring a coach ass person. Shit, if you better at it than me, then I need your services. But I didn't just hire any coach. Like I used to always hire personal development coaches first, like mindset coaches. Like I said again, I was a part of a tribe of people called this business called Health Coach Institute. Learn how to become a health coach. You learn about rearranging habits that work and just like real deep mindset adjustments that could be like untucked memories. What type of operating like OS, like your brain is an OS. What type of OS are you operating off on? How can we upgrade this OS? Because like you can't just always operate like someone's out to get you or fuck them. You know what I mean? Like even if that's not your everyday person, you can't. There are things that take place in prison that you have to be seen to talk about. You have to go to people and talk about it. Because luckily, I've had incidences where I don't care about burning bridges.
Got you.
And I'm gonna say this, and it might be a new business philosophy, but hey, if you are some bullshit to me, and birds of a feather flock together, everybody that's with you need to stay over there, and I want them to know that I don't deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't deal with people that I don't deal with that. So,
Got you.
I don't know how to fake the whole thing. Like, there is no faking about it. There is no, let's keep it cordially professional. Hey, how about we just part ways?
Yep. Sometimes that's the best thing. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Also, throughout this journey, what has been the one book or a couple books that inspired or helped you along your journey?
Well, bro, listen. One thing I did along the way, man, I learned the value of reading.
Okay.
And I remember I took this course by Jim Quick called Super Brain Training, because I was always fascinated that I knew how to learn. I can learn real well. If you ask me what I'm the 1% at, it's learning. Okay. And I always looked at what's the skill you have to focus on to magnify everything else. If you learn how to increase how you learn, you'll be good. Mm-hmm. Think about it. If you can increase the rate, speed, and retention of which you learn, what else do you have to do?
That's a cheat code.
You just gotta go fucking learn it. So, man, he had this one module where you go through speed reading, and that's the only reason I bought the course anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I want to speed read, just see what it's like. So, I think around 2018-ish, 2019-ish, 2019, I started reading like 10 books a month on different subjects, because if I didn't have the money to hire people,
mm-hmm.
then we was gonna have to goddamn get this education on our own.
So you read a lot of books. So what is one that or a couple that have stuck out to you that you treasure, that you say, this is something outside of your own, of course.
Yeah, all right. So not including mine and Bitcoin and Black America. Mm-hmm. Those are out on Amazon right now. Buy those.
Absolutely. Salute to Zay, because his book is fire, because his book is the one that made me recognize that it's not just about the finance part, how it's a revolutionary act. So salute to Zay.
Yeah. So I would say The Future is Faster Than You Think by Stephen Kotler.
Okay.
This book name called Happy Money by a guy by the name of Ken Honda.
Okay, Happy Money. Dope.
I like Atomic Habits.
Okay, so that's 3 good ones right there.
Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate it. That's some good stuff right there. So those are new ones. Happy Money.
Wait a minute. Okay. Hold on. Wait.
You got something else? You got something else?
Hell yeah. The Art of Impossible. Another book by Stephen Kotler.
Okay.
If you haven't noticed, Stephen Kotler might be.
Yeah, I was about to say you really mess with Stephen Kotler. We gotta look up Stephen Kotler and see all the different stuff that he put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So what's the future hold for you, man? So the book is out now, and everybody, make sure you go get the book. I'm going to put the link in the description, the show notes. But what's the next step for you in your journey? Like, what is something that you want to work on in the future?
Right about now, bro, the next step would be like doing tours with the book amid this COVID crisisness. I definitely want to go inside prisons and do like a book tour, or teach about Bitcoin. And as far as like business is concerned, we'll just have to see about that. There's something in the works, but if one thing I learned how to not do is share too much, because people say, "Oh, they stole my stuff." I'm not saying you would.
I got you. Listen, I get it.
Yeah.
So one of your objectives with this book is actually to reach to the people that are behind the bars and help them out. Like, so
I want it to be like a cheat code, man. Like you want to make it kind of like the Bible. All right. Why do I say that? Well, shit. If you need a playbook on how to get yourself up out of prison, here you go. And it takes you straight to the best technology, industry, business, whatever in the world. Mm-hmm. Skip all the other bullshit. Why? Why do you need to go do all this other stuff? The world is changing right now. We're moving to more exponential technology day by day. If you see somebody coming home from prison and they talking about doing some shit that is 2 centuries dead, you're going to do them a disservice if you know anything about technology that could really propel them somewhere else. There is no need to put that type of a brilliant mind not saying all of them gonna come home with that mindset now. Like I can't not say that. Everybody ain't gonna come home with their mind right. But the ones that do come home with their mind right, but probably fall back was because there was no opportunity.
Yeah.
And the opportunities won't be presented. Until now, Bitcoin's been around 12 years. Nobody has found a way to even bridge Bitcoin in the prison industry.
Yep. There
Who
you
was
go.
gonna do it?
There you go. So that's something to shoot for, good brother. Well, listen, man. I just first of all, I just want to say congratulations on all your success. Congratulations on turning your life around, getting the book out, and also just helping others, because you have a course out there too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your course.
So the course is all about Bitcoin. It's for those people who are tired of searching the web, not getting anywhere, going on YouTube for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still not getting basic questions answered, like how do I buy Bitcoin? What's the best wallet to use? How can I keep it secure? That's what that course is put together for anybody who wants to go from like 0 to at least 100 and save 4 years of research. So I teach the old school 2016 ways of Bitcoin. I don't go into all the shit coinery. But everything someone needs to know, like how to accept it for their business, how to use ATMs, what's the best way to send Bitcoin, what's the wallets that I use and why, and just noticing really relying on those principles. And principles are hard to sell sometimes, because always what about the money part? The money part. Like, everybody makes money here. You know what I mean? Like, granted, even in shitcoin, the number goes up most of the time.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? If everybody's money goes up, what's the difference? It's kind of like once you start comparing LeBron, Kobe, and Mike. Everybody's on the great playing field now. What are the differences?
Yeah.
There has to be differences, and what are the differences that matter? 6-0. Kobe's my dude. 6-0 is still better than 5-2. What are the differences? And I would still say Kobe's the GOAT. But again, you feel me? Like,
no, listen. I get you, man. For me, it's decentralization.
Right, exactly. And then you guys start going down there. Like, even so, in Clubhouse, I had this room called From Bars to Bitcoin, where we teach guys who came home from prison about Bitcoin. And there's a guy in there. He did like 30 years since he was 18. Been home 2.5 years. Just hopped into Bitcoin. No questions asked. You have people who do this. And those are the people I want to connect with the most, because it's like, hey, y'all will take action better, quicker, without giving me a damn headache as to why you have to pay for it. Hey, just take the book, man. Like, then once you do enough on your own, you be like, hey, bro, I need, whatever. Talking to the average people about Bitcoin now is almost can't help them.
Yeah.
They don't know they don't know enough.
Yep.
And so that's why this past summer, me and Zay just been teaching the children, the guys come home from prison. Hell, at least they'll listen.
Yeah, listen, the children, man. So we have a camp that we do every year for 6 years. We taught the kids in summer about Bitcoin, and listen, their level of not just understanding, but just willing to embrace it, because they grew up in the digital world. So for them, this makes sense. This is like it's like everything else, like all the different Roblox and all. It's like it just makes sense to them. It just makes sense.
Watching my daughter play this little app on her phone, or the phone I gave her, let me say it like that. And I'm looking like, damn, let me find out you can build an NFT. Yeah. And I'm not even into those, but it's just like, how the hell are you doing this? But that's how we were. And that's why, we know to hop our children right up in tech.
Yeah.
Like there's this little coding camp my daughter can't go to for like another 2 years, but you go right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's dope, man. The future is going to be completely different, because they're growing up with the technology. It's not being introduced to them; they're growing up with it. So,
and they're growing up with parents
that understand it. Yeah,
they're not growing up with Stone Age parents, bro.
Yeah,
we got textbook parents. And the grocery line, they have to put the check through there to make it. Like, that's what we went through, bro.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. It's funny how technology just makes things go so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. So I just want to say, I don't want to keep you here too much longer. I just want to say thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir.
Everybody watching, make sure you go follow at Bitcoin Vegan, see everything that he's got going on. Please pick up the book. Please pick up the book for Bars to Bitcoin. It's going to be very powerful. He's telling the story. And just support everything he got going on, man. You know, this is a brother that looks like us that's out here doing amazing work, and you know, is working in the future with Bitcoin. So, man, just want to say thank you so much, man. I appreciate you and continue to do that good work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. And for the folks out there watching, as we always say, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.